Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that today is going to be a great day for all of us. I am excited about this topic. It's something I'm super familiar with. And we are going to be talking about follow-up foundations, or the foundations of follow-up. And I know this is not a very popular topic. It's like the nasty little F word of real estate or of sales. But the way that I do it, I feel is not like a lot of the stuff that's out there. And I rarely find somebody that teaches sales that I resonate with, that, speaks my language. But if you've listened to me at all before, or joined at all before, or been listening to the Keeping It Real Estate podcast, you will know that Alex Hormozi and Layla Hormozi and Ed Millett are my favorites. And I was listening to, it was Alex Hormozi's, what was it called? I have it right here. Alex Hormozi's 30 minutes of sales training that will explode your business. And I listened to that this morning. I was like, wow. I mean, he just gets it so much. And this was my topic before I heard what he had to say, but I think it just all encompasses everything. So I bring that up if you want to listen to it. It actually says 30 minutes of sales training that will explode your business in 2022, but it is still extremely relevant today. So, and really quickly, I want to shout out a member of my team, Kelsey. It's her birthday today. She took the day off, but happy birthday, Kelsey. So I just want to say that. And then let's get into some real estate affirmations. I actually I did a little Google search, and I found a website that has 25 affirmations for real estate agents. And after we do the affirmations, I'm going to talk about, the foundations of follow-up and like what's really crucial. But I also want to play a call where a seller told me, I'm done interviewing agents. I don't want to talk to any more, I'm done. And I kind of flipped it around and I used these skills in that call. So once we're done, it's only like a 4 or 5 minute call. So we'll listen to that and I'll give you an update on it. And then I'll kind of point out the things that happened in the call that, that are part of the tools and things that we're talking about. So, and then later on, if I remember, which I almost always forget, but if I remember, I want to go over how many calls I made and how many wins I had or how many appointments I set for last week. All right. So these 25 affirmations for real estate agents. So it says, what are affirmations? And it says, what are affirmations are short, powerful statements you say or think to yourself that put you in control of your thoughts. Why should you use them? Well, it is proven to lower stress, increase confidence, enhance problem-solving abilities, and they stop the negative self-sabotaging thoughts so that you can focus on positive qualities and the positive things that you possess and that you believe in yourself, which is a huge part of what we're going to talk about in a little bit. And I'm going to give examples of like the things that make me a great salesperson, and why I was able to outperform more seasoned and trained salespeople, which is part of what Alex was talking about in that podcast as well. Okay, so these affirmations are: I am intelligent. I am a top producer. My client relationships are harmonious. I give value to my sphere of influence. People want to list their homes with me. I attract qualified buyers. I am an effective negotiator. I make decisions effortlessly. Doors are opening for me. I help others become successful. My business improves every day. I maintain healthy boundaries. I carefully guard my working hours. My expertise becomes income. I recognize amazing opportunities. I am in control of my destiny. My career is abundant. I make a difference in people's lives. I talk to new people every day. I am calm and cool in all circumstances. Price reductions are easy for me. I am detail oriented. I earn whatever number of money you want to put in there per month, it has a blank in real estate. I ask for help when I need it, and I design my life. So I don't know about you guys, but this kind of just made me think of one of the things that I have right in front of me while I work on real estate sales. I have this sticky note about why I got into real estate. And it says, I got into real estate to give my family a better future, to work on myself and for myself, to help others succeed, and because I believed I would be great at it. So real estate is one of the only industries that can be super frustrating and also super rewarding. And there's so much on our shoulders as agents. And that's why I love this platform where I can keep it real estate with all of you and share what's working, because I do make over 500 calls a week and set over like 20 appointments a week. So I'm out there doing the thing. So I've got some experience in this. And I love to share it with all of you. So with that being said, that the main thing that I want to go over is what you need to follow up with your prospective buyers and sellers, or with anyone. This is like really real estate sales in general, or sales in general, sorry. And the main thing that I got from Alex's video, and I could never explain this, was that conviction outperforms like seasoned sales agents, because the people who have conviction in their product, they believe in what they're selling, they will have the correct tone of voice, tonality and inflection in their voice when they talk to prospective, buyers or sellers, right? So I'm going to give an example of this. I kind of accidentally got into real estate, and it's kind of a funny story, but like basically I was a little bit duped into it, and I ended up rolling with it because I'm the type of person that believes, I'm meant to be where I'm meant to be, right? And like things happen for a reason. So I ended up in real estate coaching sales, and I was selling real estate coaching to real estate agents. And I learned pretty quickly that it was a powerful tool, and it was something that real estate agents really needed, and that like all major industries have coaches, right? Like even, professional athletes, all of that, they have coaches. And I'm a big football fan. I'm a big Seahawks fan. And Seahawks players, or anybody in the NFL or anybody in the NBA, any professional athlete watches their game tape back to learn. They look for little clues. One of my favorites is Richard Sherman, and he has a famous play called The Tip. And he talks about that play, how he knew that the ball was coming to him because he studied film and he saw that the wide receiver who he was guarding acted differently when he knew he was getting the ball. All of a sudden he was a little bit more fidgety, and he was like, and like he was ready, like I'm ready to eat, like if you sit down at a table and you just have a blank stare on your face, and then all of a sudden you know that the food is coming, and you're like, okay, well, let me get my napkin and let me put it here, and like, let's get ready, and here we go. All right, I'm ready to eat, right? So that was kind of what he was saying about how he knew this was coming. And that is something that we as agents need to understand when we are working our database, looking for clues and intentions. And also that's where real estate coaching came in, and why I had such a belief in what I was selling, even though I was very new to it when I started. So conviction is the most important sales trait that you could possibly have. When you believe in what you're selling, then everything kind of follows. And this is something I've always told people, you just need to have conversations. Everybody pays money a lot. Okay, not everybody, but a lot of real estate agents pay money for sales training. And I did the same thing. As soon as I got my license, I went and I found free training, and I paid for training from big names at big events and things like that. And I found, oh my gosh, like I was just like, this isn't how I feel it should be done. And the way that I always became the number one salesperson at every job that I had in sales was because I had that belief that what I was selling was good for the people I was talking to. And if it wasn't good for them, then I was going to tell them. I'm an honest, straight shooter. I'm not messing around. And so my conviction led me to have the right tonality when I was on a call, led me to say the right things the right way. And I never understood why people needed to use those things, which I consider gimmicks. Like, I'm like, why do you need to know how to say something to somebody in a certain tone? Like, just have a conversation, right? And then I realized, like, if you don't believe in what you're selling, then you might need to know, okay, I need to go inflection upwards, right? Like, how does it make you feel? Instead of how does that make you feel, right? So there's a total difference between those two statements, right, too, which is another example of why inflection and tonality are really important. But if you already can hold a conversation with someone and you believe and understand what you're talking about, and did I know everything about real estate coaching? No, I wanted to. And I was told, you don't need to know what that looks like. You don't need to have a real estate license to sell real estate coaching. And I didn't learn that that was true until after I got my license. But I felt like I needed all of these things to really like understand it and believe in it. But all I really needed was to see that it worked, for the people that I was talking to, and to understand the format of it, and to just, believe in it and have conviction in it. So conviction is the absolute most important sales trait that you can have. And everything else will follow. Your inflection, your tone, it'll all align when you believe in your product. So consistency gives you an advantage in real estate, because only I think it's less than 8% of real estate agents will make a second follow-up call. We rely a lot on AI, on campaigns, on VAs, on all kinds of other things. I personally am an ISA, so this is my job to make the calls and send the texts and follow up and have conversations and build rapport on behalf of the agent that I'm calling for, the team that I'm calling for. And all of that is really crucial, because in real estate sales, most agents don't make a second follow-up call. And almost no sales happen on the very first phone call, very rarely. So that is something that a lot of people don't understand, and they rely on all these tools and all these other things, or they try to pay for services that will take care of it. And then they ignore those services. So if you have the AI running, then all of a sudden it gets too much. And then you feel like, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to that. And then you're paying for something you don't really need to pay for. But if you were consistently calling and having conversations, and I'm going to talk about what that looks like for me, then you're gonna find success. And that's how I had the call that I'm going to share later on. I think I had reached out to this person at least 5 times before. And I was trying to reach her because she requested an estimate and all of that. So my follow-up technique is different depending on the type of lead, which there is another recording that I've done before, which is called All Leads Are Not Created Equal, where I really lay out the different types of leads and how soon you should contact them. So I'm going to base this off of an average IDX website lead, or a Facebook lead, Instagram link, some kind of online social media lead, where they're just, they're clicking to get a list of homes, or they're clicking for information, maybe requesting a CMA or something like that. So my follow-up process looks like as follows. I will call them as soon as possible. Within a 24-hour period is ideal. There are usually already AI and emails going out, AI text messages going out, emails going out. So depending on whether they requested specific information on a house, or if they just requested a list of homes, I would say a list of homes is less urgent than hey, I want a CMA, or I want information on a home that's for sale, like a custom listing app. So I will call them within 24 hours. And every time I say I call them, I also send a text message that is very specific. I say their first name. I tell them who I am. And there's a whole reason for that, because iPhones will call you scam likely or spam likely if you don't tell them who you are. So you have to say this is Sara, or my name is Sara. And then the next time you call, it will say maybe Sara. And that's really huge because I did have a guy. I was going to try to share this one too, but I didn't get to it yet. This guy told me, like he answers the phone and he's like, no, like, why would I talk to you? This is a spam likely, da, 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 da. And he was like really rude and he hangs up on me. And then I sent him a text and I said, hey, like you requested an estimate for your home. That's why I was reaching out. And he was like, well, it said spam likely. And I was like, that's because you don't have me saved in your iPhone. That's kind of how it works. So a lot of people don't understand that and they think that it's telling them that the person calling is a spam caller. But when you get a phone call from your son's high school and you don't have that number saved because they have 25 different phone numbers for a high school, well, it'll still say spam likely. So that's just education. Just a side note, I guess. A little bit of a tangent, but there you go. Okay. So I call them within 24 hours. I send them a text. I say, did you get whatever you requested? Or are you, does this sound familiar if it's an estimate? Or are you thinking of selling if it's an estimate, right? So I'm very specific with what they clicked on. I don't say Facebook ad. If it's through Facebook, I say a post on Facebook, something like that. Because you don't want to call it an ad, right? Like we want to be careful with the words that we use. And then I call them again in 2 days and I send them a text. And then I call them again in 1 week and I send them a text. And then I call them again in 2 weeks and I send them a text. And then I call them again in 3 weeks and I send them a text. And then I call them once a month until they pick up the phone. So within 24 hours, 2 days later, 1 week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, once a month or every 4 weeks. And unless they're responding to me, if they're responding to me, that's different, right? Like we need to set those follow-ups a lot sooner, have those conversations and keep those conversations going a lot sooner. So it just depends on what they're saying. Like, right, if they're like wrong number, well, that's not a conversation we want to have. We want to go update our database, make sure we know that that's not the right person and stop all the campaigns and da, right? But if they are saying like, hey, yes, I'm still looking for homes, like one of my text messages, and I have a very like thought out sequence of text messages. If anybody is listening to this and wants to know what they are, I do have a course. It is actually, I think it's called Follow-Up Foundations. and it is not that expensive. And I am still adding to it almost a year later after I created it. So there's a lot of good info in there and it gives my exact outline, exactly what I write, exactly how it looks. And all of the text messages that I send, like almost 3D, and it can go even further, like what I do for holiday text messages and things like that, because I kind of change things up. Every market is different though. San Diego and Seattle, you know what I'm talking about, but every market is different. So you have to be a little bit careful with emojis and the way you say things. So know your market. Okie dokie. So that's my follow-up sequence. That's like the foundation of my follow-up. I think that if you have the conviction in what you are doing, then everything else will align and follow. And then you just need to schedule for consistency. And those things that I've given you are the tools, like the building blocks of follow-up. And if you can't do it the way that I just mentioned, then you can always adjust based on what works for you. So I always say, like, if something is working, don't change it. But if something is no longer working, that's when you need to look at it. And a lot of people have a fear of change and they don't know how to handle when everything is different, right? They don't know how to handle when the interest rates are so high that everybody's telling them that the interest rates are too high. But we have to adapt, especially in this industry. It's like adapt to survive. And the people that adapt are the ones that figure out the ways to really connect and have relationship-based conversations with people. And they're not just going for a sale. And so that's kind of like where I feel that I am different from and don't resonate with a lot of other salespeople, because I am not the pushy sales type. And in the call that I am about to share, you will hear her talk over me and you'll hear her say that she doesn't like pushy salespeople. I do think she's talking over me because she's got like background noise, and I'm not sure if she could hear me that well, but it might just been her personality. But either way, I am not a pushy salesperson. I am a salesperson that believes in what I'm doing, that is passionate about helping people find a real estate agent that's got their back. And you will even hear me say, like, I felt like I kind of had a crappy situation with a realtor once. So let me share that, and that should, we'll go over that. And then afterwards, if I can remember, I'll share my call numbers, and hopefully this will be helpful. There's something out. Oh, okay. Here we go. Share sound. All right. Here we go.
Hey, is this it, Cece?
Yeah,
Hey, my name is Sara. I work with a real estate team in Vegas, and you requested an estimate for Henderson Home on. Does that sound familiar?
yeah.
Yeah. Did you get that? Okay.
Did I get the offer?
Yeah, the estimate. We sent it to your email.
Oh, no, I haven't. I haven't even looked at it yet.
Okay. Were you considering selling by any chance? Because that might make a difference.
Yeah, I have a realtor coming over today, actually. And I've already had a couple of realtors come over within the last month. So.
Oh, okay. Are you open to interviewing Wendy Goff, or have you already talked to her?
No. This is gonna probably be the last realtor that I'm gonna have come out today. 2 of them have already came over to the house.
Okay.
So and gave me all of their paperwork and the price and stuff that I could list it for.
Okay.
So I didn't want to like go through a whole bunch. I was just gonna like make my decision of which one. One of them was a little bit pushy, but I had a little bit more knowledge and more experience, so I kind of wanted to use her, even though I really don't like pushy salespeople too much. But I kind of need that at the same time. But
Yeah.
and then the other 2 I was referred to by my boss or from my boss, so I was kind of like, oh, they're like a husband and wife. So I'm like, damn, I kind of like feel obligated, but it was just like a referral.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this guy that's coming was a guy that is coming today, is when I did the investor thing to quick sale or whatever. And I'm sure that's probably where you guys got my number from as well. And then to just hurry up and sell it and be done.
Okay.
But I don't want to take what I owe for it. I need to make money off of it. And so that was the difference between, to sell it and go through a realtor so I could make money off of it.
Yeah.
Because I could, I can sell it for, 480, 485, anywhere, I'm going to say from 475 to 500. And that's kind of where I was looking at. So I need to, I need the money to move. I need the money to pay off bills and to get into another house. So.
Of course. Understood. So Wendy is who I work for, and I'm not trying to like pressure you into anything, but she's like a marketing genius and also is in luxury. And in the last 6 months, she's listed like Michael Jackson's former Vegas home and a bunch of others. So like she works all different styles. So that's why I was asking if you're open to interviewing one more.
Okay.
She would be like, she has over 300,000 views on her YouTube channel for just one property. So you're going to get like the most eyeball on your home to get that price that you want. So that's why I was asking. But like, if you are
okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'm open to one more. Let's just do one more and then I'll be done with it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I need to hurry up and do it. So I'm scared. It's my first house that I'm ever selling, and I'm now like a single person, and so I'm scared to do it, but I'm ready. I just do it. So.
I am too, because I've been taken into by a realtor before that was referred by my best friend and all that. I understand your position, and I just want to.
A realtor? How about just How about just everybody in general who takes advantage? Wait, my name is spelled wrong on that. But, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, trying to do two things at once.
No problem. Would tomorrow at 4 work?
Yeah. Tomorrow at 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to text you Wendy's info. She's going to confirm. She just told me she can do it tomorrow at 4. She'll be out there then.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck with everything. I hope it all works out.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so it's so funny when I listen to my own calls back and I hear little things and I'm like, oh, I should have like heard her out a little more or empathized with her a little more at some point. And I was actually texting Wendy to make sure I could schedule it. So I hear myself I wasn't paying as much attention in the end when she said, realtor, how about just like anybody in general taking advantage of you? So I should have empathized with her a little bit more on that and, heard her out. But I think she had something else going on and it distracted me. And then I was also texting Wendy. But like the reality is that we make mistakes. We can't be perfect all the time. But in that situation, I knew what Wendy brings to the table. And I knew like I'm going to shoot my shot. And I'm going to make sure that I tell her that I understand that she doesn't want a pushy agent and that I'm not trying to push anything on her, but I'm giving her the facts about what Wendy is capable of. And since she's interviewing these agents, like it's also something, like I said, I'm passionate about because I think finding the right agent makes a huge difference. And it's like one of the biggest, investments of your life. And she said this is her first time selling a home. And that's something that, I think I wish I would have also like heard her out a little bit more and like, empathize with. But either way, appointment was set and she did reschedule it. But then Wendy did show up and we didn't get the listing appointment. Like we didn't get it signed. Wilter, did you have a question?
It's Wendy.
I thought that might be somebody.
Wendy, like, take my jacket.
I had no idea you were be on here. That's hilarious. Did you even know I was sharing that call on here today?
I didn't. I was like, I'm gonna hop on, and they were sharing today. Anyway, yeah, it went really well, and I had enough empathy for her for the both of us, and I was there 2.5 hours. So yeah, she's getting the house ready. I told her what she needed to do, and we'll be hopefully taking pictures next week. So,
thank you. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. And see, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like the relationship between ISA and agent is crucial also because, like, I know Wendy, I love Wendy, and that makes it so that I have conviction in what I'm saying. And then when you have conviction and passion and in a conversation, then you usually will be the one to control it if you have the most conviction and passion in a conversation. So thank you, Wendy. I'm so excited about that.
Sorry, I'm out camping in my shower time.
I totally understand. It's all good. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm going to share my call numbers because I like to do this. I don't want to do it to intimidate anyone. It is definitely not meant for that. It is just something that I think gives maybe some people some confidence, maybe a goal. And you can hear my real calls, how I approach it. So this is literally what I do all day. Only about 10% of people pick up the phone. So last week I had 693 calls. About 66 people picked up the phone. And I set 22 appointments off of that. Now, some of them were all exactly appointments. Some of them were more like property alerts or like one of them was they actually connected with the agent. So sometimes you set an appointment and then you're like, okay, now I set it, but did they show up? So I consider that a win when they actually show up or sign a listing agreement or sign a buyer's agency agreement or something like that. So basically that's 3% of my calls, which out of the 10%, that's that pickup, it's a lot more than that. But so that's kind of what I do. And if any of you all have questions, hit me up on social. I am Sara Delansig. And this was Keeping It Real Estate. So until next time.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.